So we're really excited to be here, as always, at the Tekken, where we do our celebration of the new season, the new cleansing cycle and period. My name is Unfurka Ma'at, also known as Anika Daniels Osaze. I am the Hemet Tepi of the Shrine of Ma'at here in New York City, based in Harlem. And we have our other co-chief priest, the Hem Netter and Tepi, Herujedin Atin Ra, also known as Jabari Osaze. And
Akamat to you all, Akamat. Yes, just here dealing with the incense.
So today we are going to welcome all of the new energies that come with the new season. We're going to log off anything that we want to get rid of and cleanse ourselves, purify ourselves so we can be ready for what all has to be offered to us by the Ancestral. So we welcome all of you here online. We're so pleased to be here as always. You know, we do this 4 times a year, and you're always welcome to join us to find out more about what we do as a shrine, but also how we do our celebrations. So today, we are going to do what we usually do. We will do our opening of the way ceremony. We will talk about what the purpose of this celebration is all about. Why do we focus on the equinox and the solstices? What is the importance behind these particular seasons? What do we need to be doing during this time, and how do we prepare ourselves? So that's what we are going to do today. We welcome any new people who are joining us. Please, in the chat, let us know who you are. Let us know where you're hailing from. We want to know how far our reach is and who is involved in this ceremony with us today. So again, I welcome all of you. We have our incense burning. We are doing our frankincense and myrrh to purify our space. We have our hockey water that we bring back with us every time we travel to Kemet. So we'll be using all of these aspects and elements to prepare you for the day.
And you should know that we have one of our full shrine members here. We expect that there'll be a few other folks joining us. It became, it's almost like the equinox is happening tonight. And all of a sudden the temperature dropped. It is cold here in New York City. Chilly here in New York City. So we do expect that there'll be some people joining us. But before we do anything, we should begin with purification. And while you're at home, you should also purify into the season. Old Bay, garlic. Purify into the seasons, because that is how you will be prepared to do divine work of divine God. So we will begin. I have here frankincense and myrrh in our censer, and we're going to begin with a sensing purification. So imagine that you are here with us. Set your divine intention. Pretend that you are here. Stand. This isn't TV. Stand with your left foot forward as you were doing the position of adoration. But instead of doing full adoration, clasp your hands over yourself, left over right. And while we do that, we will chant the words for everlasting life. Let us begin. Take your breath, and remember to breathe from your abdomen. And we hope that you at home are also purifying, are also preparing for the work that you must do in this season. Please, wherever you are, prepare your divine intention for this new season. With that, the opening of the new libation. Before libation to the ancestors, with the waters from the Hapi, the waters from that great river that our ancestors created civilization by, the river that is now misnomered the Nile. And we say, O ancestors, we are here and gathering. We are gathering and preparing for this new season in the manner that you saw fit. We are here to emulate your sacred legacy. We are here because your traditions have been much maligned, but we remember. We will continue to honor your legacy, to honor your sacrifice, to honor your transition. With that, we say, we pour libation for ancestors like Imhotep, Tuantur, ancestors like Khufu, builder of the Great Pyramid, ancestors like Hatshepsut, that divine queen who led Kemet in a period of prosperity. We pour libation for individuals like Mentuhotep I, great warrior king that brought our civilization back into existence. We pour libation for the thinkers, the sages. We pour libation for Mary Kara, for Ptahhotep, for all of those thinkers, the women at the grindstone, whose knowledge is pristine, but whose names may not be remembered. We pour libations for more recent ancestors, those ancestors who have done the work, those ancestors whose commitment to us allows us to be here today. Libations for individuals like Harriet Tubman, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Francis Cress Welsing, Tuantur, Ida B. Wells, Barnett, Sojourner Truth, and recent ancestors who have gone on and done that great work. Ancestors who we know, who have given all they could for our community. Ancestors like Dr. Joseph Benyakinen, Dr. John Henry Clark, Ivan Van Sertimer, and ancestors like Runoko Rashidi, ancestors like Ali Salahuddin. And also we call the names of ancestors in our personal narrative. People who in many ways might have allowed us as individuals to be here. I call the name of my father, Winfred Levy Jacobs.
My mother, Evelyn Daniels. My father, Richard Daniels. My grandmother, Patty
Lou Collins. You gotta call her Patty Lou.
Patty Lou.
Grandma Patty Lou.
Most recent,
Bessie Mae Williams, the now ancestral matriarch, her aunt, who just made her transition. We know that you're there. We know that you've made your journey successfully. We know you are a new ancestor and you are smiling. We thank you for your commitment. Thank you that you've successfully made your transition. Please call those names of individuals that you are thinking of. I think of my aunt, Eslyn Sylvester.
Aunt Baba.
Tuantur.
Uncle Buddy.
Tuantur.
Francis Chamberlain.
Tuantur. Kenyatta Hunter.
Betty Smith sisters.
Tuantur.
Aunt Lynn.
Tuantur.
Grandma Rosie.
Tuantur.
Eddie Ellis.
Tuantur.
Fannie Lou Hammer.
Tuantur.
Mega Evans.
Tuantur. We know that you are there. We know that your journey has allowed us to be here in physical form, and we know that you are making a way that we may join you if we continue to do the work that has been prescribed by you, O ancestors, and work that will balance the divine scales. For those of you at home, you should have been calling names. Call them now. Let the ancestors know that you remember them. Let the ancestors know that you will never allow anyone to sully their name. Let the ancestors know that your work today will only allow them to continue to live on this plane. We know, oh ancestors, that you have made your transition, but that you can be active here on this realm. And we thank you for your assistance in our divine task. Twanter, Twanter, Twawinter. We've done libation. And I think this is a good time for us to do the opening of the way. We see we've been joined by the priest Abu Waziri and by our full shrine member, Sanet Tara. They've also come in. So let's do the opening of the way. Can we do so? We're going to stand beginning facing north, just because we're calling the deities of the north first. So, Anika, why don't you lead, and I'll make sure the folks at home are with us.
So as we stand in the pose of adoration, we're giving energy and receiving energy. You have your left hand out, your left foot forward, right hand slightly back, and right foot back. We're facing the north as we get ready to honor all of those ancestors and divine forces in our opening. We start by chanting the word of life, Ankh, and then we will begin in each direction. Netrak in that hat.
Netrak in the head.
Nuke in that hat.
Nuke in that hat.
Netrak happy.
Netrak happy.
Nuke happy.
Nuke happy.
Twelve winter.
Twelve winter.
Netrak serket.
Netrak serket.
Nuke serket.
Nuke serket.
Netrak kepsanu.
Netrak kebsanu.
Nuke kepsanu.
Nuke kebsanu.
Twelve winter.
Twelve winter.
Netrak ah.
Netrak ast. Nuke ast. Netrak amset. Nuke amset. Twelve winter.
Netrak neat.
Netrak neat. Nuke neat.
Netrak dwamutef.
Netrak dwamutef.
Nuke dwamutef.
Nuke dwamutef.
Twelve winter.
Twelve winter.
Netrak newt.
Netrak newt.
Nuke newt.
Nuke newt.
Netrak geb.
Netrak geb.
Nuke geb.
Nuke geb.
Twelve winter.
Twelve winter.
Netrak shoe.
Netrak shoe.
Shoe. Nuke shoe. Netrak tef newt.
Netrak tef newt.
Tef newt.
Tef newt. Tef newt. Tef newt. Nuke tef newt. Twelve winter.
Netrak paut interu.
Interu.
Netrak paut interu.
Nuke paut interu.
Nuke paut interu.
Netrak and boo interu.
Netrak and boo interu.
Nuke and boo interu.
Nuke and boo interu.
Twelve winter.
Twelve winter.
Twelve winter.
Twelve winter. Dwa, dwa, dwa. Dwa to all of you. Dwa to all of you at home. I hope that you were doing the opening of the way with us. Because remember, this is in theater. Let's come here so the folks at home can see us as well. This is not theater, right? We're expecting that you will do the opening with us. We're expecting that you will prepare the way for the work that must be done with us. Because regardless of where you are on the face of the back of our Father Geb, you are with us. And we know that you are there. We know that there are practitioners all over the world. We know that there are those of you who remember the traditions of our Kemetic ancestors all over the world. Please do this with us. So, today we are here for the equinox on what seems to be one of the chilliest equinoxes that I can remember. I remember being on the autumnal equinox and saying it's like summer and being hot. Today is chilly. You see Sinatara came prepared. You see her, she came prepared. It's chilly today. And it seems like our environment is prepared for what will be the official equinox at around 9 p.m. tonight. So I want to talk for a moment about what the equinox is. Because as we talk about these days, we must remember that for tens of thousands of years, or perhaps longer, Africans were recognizing the perceived movements of Ra, perceived movements of the sun from our vantage point here on Earth. And I think that the two equinoxes are wonderful metaphors for practitioners of Mahat. What is the equinox? The equinox is the day when we have equal amounts of light and equal amounts of darkness. In many ways, it is divine balance. In many ways, as we think of the equinox, it should be a reminder that this is certainly a day, a period to balance the scales. That this is the time that we should make sure that we are speaking to each other, reaching out to each other, ensuring that no one among us is injured, ensuring that all of those things that you should do to prepare your environment are done. Because we know that with the fall comes this anticipation, this renewed understanding that there's more work that must be done. The summer period where we might have been vacationing and just basking in the rays of Ra actually are over. And that now there's that new work that must be done for the fall. Our students are back in school. Many of us are back at work. Some of us even going back after the pandemic. We know you know what the fall feels like this year. But on the same token, this period prepares us for the winter solstice. And we must be aware of the fact that there will be a time that the sun will give us less of its radiant joy. That there will be a time that the rays of Ra will actually only warm us for a few short hours as opposed to most of the day. Look at this. It's probably approaching 8 p.m. and it's dark in New York City. I haven't seen that in recent weeks. The equinox is upon us. And daylight saving time is about to happen, right? So just know that all of this is coming. And that we, practitioners of divine balance, practitioners who have heard the call to higher consciousness and have answered, practitioners who remember the traditions, remember the folklore, remember the fundamental commitment of our ancestors, that we are prepared for this critical time.
And this time is of particular significance for me because being a Libra, being someone whose Earth Day is actually on Sunday, it's a time for me to reflect on my time around the sun, how long I've been here, how much time I have left, and what I need to do with that time. And now that doesn't mean that that's the only time you should be thinking about your purpose just because of your Earth Day or your solar return. It just happens to be the time for me to focus on it. But now all of us have to start thinking during the season, what is your purpose? What have you done so far? Are you pleased with what you've done? Who have you helped today? Who will you help tomorrow? Because remember, your purpose here is not just for yourself, it's for others. And if you can't answer that question in a way that's satisfying to you, satisfying to the Untaran, satisfying to the ancestors, then you have work to do. And this is what you should be contemplating. This is what you need to focus on during this time period as you cleanse. Find out what you need to do to be better and to help others be better around you. So often we spend time looking at other people and judging them, what they're not doing, who they're not manifesting or we're manifesting to be. And we always have our opinions on where everyone else should be and not focusing on ourselves. We need to turn that spotlight inward and see if we're being that shining being dwelling in the light of the Most High. And if we're not, why not? What do we need to do? And how do we get it done?
So we ask that you prepare yourself by thinking of those things that you need to do to balance the scales. And this is a day that actually it won't sound strange to people if they get a strange text, a strange phone call, a strange knock on their door, and you simply say, I need to restore Ma'at. I need to restore Ma'at. Of course, the term that we use in ancient tradition is Seruj Ma'at. Seruj Ma'at, which means to restore Ma'at. This fundamental principle perhaps is the world's first, at least the world's first recorded description of ethical and moral purity, of our ability to do those things that will put our relationships, put our heart back into divine balance. And so this is a good day for you to reach out and say, I need to Saruj Maha. And it doesn't mean that you have done wrong. It might just mean that your relationship with someone is hindered. Now, I know there's some of you who are saying the relationship that most impacts me is a relationship of someone who's made their transition. I no longer have that ability to speak to my uncle, my aunt, my mother, my father, my brother, my sister, someone who is now an ancestor. Well, that is not the case, beloved. As the practitioners of the African traditions, you should remember that we were the people that first told the world that death does not destroy us. That in fact, we continue to exist in a different form. So this is a wonderful day to write a letter to put on your altar. This is a wonderful day to do meditation and to speak to that ancestor. This is a wonderful day to write down those things that have harmed you and simply put them in your brazier, put them in your censer, and let them go on and be done. This is the day that we should do it.
And what else should you be doing? You should be grateful and thankful for all that you have. Again, as a people, we always focus on what we don't have. We always think about the fact that there are things missing in our lives, that we want more money, that we want more power, that we want more of so many things, material items, which we can't take with us anyway. So what are you grateful for? Who are you grateful for? Try your best to think about all the people who impacted your life and be grateful that those people are there. Those who are not here anymore, think of the things they did for you to be who you are, for you to still be you, and be grateful for them. Be grateful for the Untara. Be grateful for the ancestors. Be grateful for your friends and family. Be grateful that you have a place to live, you have food to eat, and if you don't, be grateful that you are alive and that you have another day to work on those things that you don't have. Seek the help that you need. But always be grateful and always realize there are those who have less than you and can be just as happy. When we traveled to Ghana this year, we spent a lot of time getting to know the children there. And you'll see children who don't have anything to their name. No toys, no books, no pens, no pencils. But they still had smiles on their faces. We always wonder, well, why are they so happy? Many of them didn't have a lot of clothes. They weren't in the cleanest of positions. And we would always wonder, well, what is it that makes them smile? And it's because they still had their friends. They made toys out of things that were not toys. We saw kids playing with anything from a tire to 2 sticks. And you would think that they had an Xbox or a PlayStation because they have a different perspective in life. They realize that just waking up in the morning and seeing those that they love is enough to survive. We here in the West have gotten greedy. We have indulged. We have become gluttons. We have expected more than we deserve. We don't work as hard as we should to get what we have. And we keep wanting more. So it's time for us to start thinking about what we already have, who we already have in our lives. Be grateful for that. Because you won't get any more if you don't even realize what you have. You don't deserve any more if you're not grateful for what you already have. So it's time to say dua Duater, Duantara, Dua to all those who made you who you are today and gave you all of what you have. You have an abundance, whether you realize it or not. You have breath. You have shoe. As long as you have that, you have everything.
So with that, we ask you, I'm going to give you some homework, right? Is homework good?
Yes.
Professor Jabari is always giving homework. Write those 7 things that you must do in this period. Write them down. Those 7 things that you have to do in order to Saruj Ma'at, in order to restore divine balance. Prepare them tonight. Don't let 9 p.m. happen. It's going to happen in a few moments before you are able to write those things down, so you can set your intention on restoring Ma'at.
And before you go to bed tonight, take your spiritual bath. You know, many of you ask, well, how do I do that? What do I have to use for it? It could be as simple as some pure essence that you might have in your home. You know, it could just be some flowers that you might take, some petals, and put it in your water. It's something as simple as any purified fruits or juices that you can add to your water. Anything that you have that can bring you calm and peace. Meditate in your tub. If you don't have a tub, meditate in your shower. Find some kind of eucalyptus scent and use that, or just have a candle that you can burn while you're in your shower. Be safe. I always say if you're going to have fire, be safe with it. But cleanse yourself and prepare yourself for the new season. Start your fast. Remember, we always try to fast during these changing seasons. Be conscious of what you put in your mind. Be conscious of what you put in your body. Be conscious of what you put on your body. Be conscious of who's in your body. You might think that's controversial, but think about who you're inviting into your temple and whether they deserve to be there. And make sure that they're purifying and cleansing themselves as well.
So with that, we won't keep you long tonight. Plus, it's chilly over here. What we'll do is we will now do our final affirmation. Anika, would you like to lead us?
As always, I love to use the oldest prayer found in the Pertem Heru Engea, or the Reu and Pertem Heru Engea, the chapters of the book of coming forth into day from night. And it's called the Amasu. So I invite you to join me with this. We're going to start with the words of our ancestors in the Untu Inter and Meta Meta, and then we'll repeat it in English. So please, in your pose of adoration, repeat after me. Amasu and Patentev.
Amasu and Patentev.
Sauksu.
Sauksu.
Ementra.
Ementra.
And Patentev.
And Patentev.
Autu.
Autu.
Aura.
Aura.
Maketipa.
Maketipa.
Perura. Give yourself to the One Most High.
Give yourself to the One Most High.
Keep yourself daily for the divine.
Keep yourself daily for the divine.
And do it tomorrow.
And do it tomorrow.
Just as you did it today.
Just
as you did it today.
Twa Winter.
Twa Winter.
Thank you to the divine.
Thank you to the divine.
Thank you to all of you.
Thank you to all of you.
Thank you to you at home. Much myrrh, and we wish you all the best in this new season.
Shimmer Ma'at, folks. We'll see you soon.
Send
Peace.
me mine.